The story of my team. Home. The story of my team. Like most things in my life, I have to admit that my team was kind of born out of a few accidents and a little bit of insecurities that I was trying to overcome. So, Triple Mint started in 2013, and I was there for the very beginning of the ride, and I was originally on the leadership team as head of sales, and I was doing that largely because my weight had peaked. I no longer felt good about myself. I wasn't confident being client-facing, but I didn't want to leave real estate. So I decided what was best for me was to be behind the scenes. And you know, this is all part of that life experience because I never would have done that if it weren't for my weight. And looking back on it, it's really the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, like being on this journey with Triple Mint and watching how much we've grown, and now we have hundreds of employees in multiple markets, and I've been there since there was just a small handful of us sitting around a table, is amazing. And it's honestly my weight that I have to thank for that in the weirdest way. So stay on the ride, because once I lost the weight in 2016, it was very clear to me that while I was really happy at Triple Mint, I hated being on the leadership team. I didn't want to manage tons and tons of agents. I wanted to be out there selling. I love the properties, I love the people, and that part of it had been taken away from me. So I decided that I was gonna go back to selling. And I used to love doing hallucinogens, if I'm being totally honest. Please stick with me. Sober now, but wasn't always. And I was at a Fish concert, and this was at the end of 2016. I had lost all this weight, and I was at Madison Square Garden for their New Year's Eve concert. And there were tons of real estate ads all over the place. And I was a little bit out of my mind, and I was paying attention to the concert, but I kept seeing these real estate ads, and I just had this vision that I was gonna start a sales team, and we were gonna be one of the most impressive sales team that this city and this country had ever seen. And that is the one thing that I will say that is nice about drugs, is it kind of gives you this freedom and this permission to just believe whatever you want to believe for a hot second. And all of that went away, but the dream stayed. And I had this very crystal clear vision of exactly what I wanted for my life. And while I didn't have the business in place because I had been behind the scenes for years, I had a plan and I had a vision, and I knew what I was good at. And what I was good at was leading people and inspiring people and training people. And I took a risk, and I asked Josh Heyer, who is still on my team today, if he'd be interested in coming on a few transactions with me. And then shortly after that, a girl named Ashley, who I had met at the gym, started at Triple Mint, and she was crushing it. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I think I want to put together a little team, and Ashley's doing really well, and I really like her and really trust her, so I asked her to be on my team. And we had an intern at the company at the time named Myrna. And Myrna and I really just had a special bond and a special connection. And I was like, why don't you be like the team assistant? And that was the first version of the Whitman team. Now, if you watched last season, you know that first year really didn't go that well. We didn't make that much money. And I lived in this place of fear and a place of doubt because I kept thinking, I was like, what was I thinking? Like, these are other people's livelihoods and they're completely in my hands and we're not executing on our goals. And I'm in way over my head and I should really just cancel all of this and start from scratch because I have no idea what I'm fucking doing. But for some reason, I didn't. And I really, looking back on that, that's the one thing that I can't get to the bottom of. I don't know why I didn't quit. I don't know why I persevered through it, but I did. And things started to grow really dramatically for us. And obviously, here we are 4 years later, we're one of the top producing teams in the city and in the country, and we're doing millions and millions of dollars in revenue for the team. And I'm gonna spend this season telling you what we do that makes our operation so successful that I'm now in a position that I feel like we can open in any market. We just opened in the Hamptons where we're crushing it. We're about to open in 2 other markets that will be announced later this year, so stay tuned. It's a secret for now, but I know what they are. And it's because of our systems and our processes and our structure that I can copy and paste that into any market now. And I'm going to tell you all of my secrets this season But that's really how my team began. I feel like so many people think that they need to have some sort of special moment where they're like, okay, I've reached this crowning moment in my career and now it's time to start a team. Y'all, I started a team when I had no business. I had no listings, I had no clients, I just had a vision, I had a dream, I made a plan, I faked it, and I stuck to it, and now I know a lot. The truth of the matter is, you really only need 2 key ingredients to get started with a successful team, and I'm gonna tell you exactly what they are next week, so please tune in. I don't know what show it's gonna be, but I do think I'm gonna be on Broadway.